My name is Keith Russell, and I'm the program manager for urban conservation for Audubon Mid-Atlantic. Bald eagles have been found nesting in Philadelphia since at least 2007, but before that we don't have any records of bald eagles nesting in the city, and that may be because for a long time they were being shot in colonial times, and of course after that DDT was a big problem for them and it caused their population to decline.
My name is Jason Weckstein. I'm Associate Curator of Ornithology here at the Academy of Natural Sciences of Drexel University, and I'm also Associate Professor in the Department of Biodiversity, Earth and Environmental Sciences at Drexel University.
Bald eagles have been nesting in Philadelphia since at least 2007, and this particular nest is located in a large white pine tree. It's located fairly close to a river. It's been here since at least 2023. And it might have been here before, but that's the first year I think that we discovered it. And it's been successful every year. There have been at least 2 young produced from this nest. So it's amazing. It's in a very urban spot. There are ball fields and trails and cars and roads right around this nest, and yet the birds are doing well. So it's very encouraging to see the bald eagles be able to use an urban spot like this to breed.
So they start nesting during early spring, late winter.
The breeding period may go from January until June or July. So there may be birds coming to the point where they can fledge at different points during that period.
And by now the birds are either fledged or close to fledged. The peak of spring, like in May, the nestlings were pretty big already.
But the nest right here in Fairmount Park has birds that are not fledged yet, and it's early June. So this is a little bit on the late side, but it's not totally unexpected.
You know, the further north you go, the later the nesting season, so there's no sort of absolute date. It depends on where you are on, along the latitudinal spectrum.
The bald eagle was endangered here in the United States for many years, and that was because DDT and other types of pesticides were poisoning bald eagles and making it difficult for them to produce eggs.
And they dropped precipitously due to the use of DDT. So DDT caused eggshell thinning, and museums like the Academy of Natural Sciences had egg collections, and those eggshells were actually studied to look at changes over time. It's one of the values of museum collections like ours, is that we have a series of collections over time that allow us to look at environmental changes and those impacts of environmental changes on biodiversity. DDT basically led to this massive decline, and with the Endangered Species Act, we were able to start doing things like controlling DDT, protecting nests, that sort of thing. The endangered species list, made it illegal to kill bald eagles. And I should also point out that birds of prey were also commonly persecuted. You take places like Hawk Mountain, Cape May, those are bird watching places. They were not bird watching places originally, so they were places that people went to actually shoot birds of prey in large numbers. And obviously managed hunting of wildlife can work, but this was not managed. This was just all out shooting everything that flew by because people sort of had a negative perception of birds of prey.
So a lot of work has been put into recovering this species, and we now have bald eagles nesting in many, many parts of the United States and other parts of North America that they didn't used to occupy in the 1960s. So it's been a real success. So bald eagles eat fish, and they also eat lots of other things, but fish is one of their primary foods. So that causes them to probably nest near water more often than not.
Birds that are living on the Schuylkill River and in our general vicinity are eating lots of things like carp, shad, even things like bass. They'll eat bass if they find bass. And any fish that's close enough to the surface that they can grab a hold of it. Obviously dead or dying fish are going to be easier to catch.
So this particular nest is in an area that's right near a river. But there are some other nests that are far from rivers, but they're not too far for the birds to commute back and forth to get their food each day. I became fascinated with birds when I was really little. So I remember being in the 3rd grade and giving a report to my class about birds. I do remember my parents finding a person in our neighborhood that was a birder, and that person became a mentor. Well, Philadelphia is a great city to be a birder in because we have so much natural habitat. And we have a huge park system, we have a national wildlife refuge, we have a state park, and we have arboretums, and we have a lot of green neighborhoods with lots of trees. So I was fortunate to grow up in a neighborhood that had lots of trees. I heard bird songs all the time and started to learn them that way. So, Philadelphia is a very big city, so we have lots of things in the city besides places for people. We have parks, we have arboretums, we have places that are owned by the city that are used for treatment of water, and we have golf courses, and birds use all these places. They use airports, they use our water department's property, and they use even highly urbanized areas in ways that really are surprising sometimes. And during migration, birds are migrating through Philadelphia by the millions. There's about 40 million birds that migrate through the city each year. And during migration, they become very plastic in terms of their habitat choices. So they are willing to come into areas that we don't think birds would use, but they use them during migration.
People should care about birds for a variety of reasons. I think for me, the first one is birds are just enjoyable.
Oh. Ooh.
Like living in an environment without birds is not the same as being out in nature and experiencing birds.
That's when the adult like flew from this perch like down to the other one. And I texted her and I was like, oh my God, I found the bald eagle nest.
Go Bears! Go Eagles!
We all wake up to bird songs, even in the city.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's a pleasant thing to have nature around you, right?
What other city do you have this massive, massive park that is right next to you?
Hearing about birds from my mom, and the eagle was like the most rare, and we never saw it.
The other thing is they're kind of a great canary in the coal mine. And I think that's what bald eagles and ospreys and peregrine falcons were telling us, that DDT was doing something, bad to our environment.
So I'm looking at one of the adults from this nest now, and it's perched in another tree. And evidently the adults for this nest have fed the young for the morning, and now they're resting. So I only see one of the adults now, but the other adult will probably be back soon.